Hello, my name is Mark Colesmith, and as part of the EARFEST series, I was invited to read a short excerpt from the playwright and Associate Professor William Christie. Under Mulga is an Australian reimagining of the very famous radio play by Dylan Thomas, Under Milkwood. And in the quiet and late hours of my own recent evening, surrounded by the silhouettes of synthesizers in my home studio, I sat down to record this version. I hope you enjoy Under Mulga. Let's start from scratch. It's a dead still, dry season, never night in the small town of Godabuggerai. Not a star for the asking. It's tar black, as far back as the blind eye can't see, and dark as a black fella's navel. The dirt roads are dead silent now, as the bush hard by holds its harsh breath and slumps down past hushed mudflats, small-pocked by the black eyes of yabby pools, to the dream-haunted shores of the Mulga lagoon, where dunharts and wattlebats, wallaroos and water rats fumble and forage for their pearl-eyed lives. Unleering now are the long windows on the second story of Godabuggerai's one proud pub. The brick bungalows, baked fibro and weather-beaten weatherboards of the backcountry town are blind as bats, or pie-eyed as Snakebite Dave, dead to the world in his three-legged dining chair on the pub's veranda. The tides of silence surge through the shadowed air, and all the people round the dumb and blinds downtown are sleeping now. Shush. The milk pukers and the toddler warriors are asleep at last, spread-eagled on their mothers in the sticky midnight. The cockies are sleeping, the stockmen and shearers, punters and pensioners, Garbo, grease monkey, copper and cook, teacher, tennis coach, postie and publican, the stock and station agent and the surly wives. Young girls lie webbed in their sweaty hair and grope down the crowded aisles of their strobe-lit dreams after lead singers on a country tour of their bodies, while the boys are dreaming thump and tackle, try and triumph in the ruck and tumble of the rugby dark, and in the paddocks, the black silhouettes of horses asleep on their legs cut sharp against the star-lit bruised black of the night sky. The feral cats slink and fossick among half-empty tins in the town dump, while the mange-mottled three-legged guard dog Rascal keeps his proud distance and his snout intact. In the yards of the houses, night lets sleeping dogs lie whimpering in their makeshift corners, and sleeping cats practice for the sleeping they'll do all day. Only you can hear the seeds bursting in the dry quiet. The houses shrinking and settling, and the snuffed town snoring. Only your eyes are unclosed, yours and the eyes of that moonstruck army of mammals and birds mobilized by the dark. Only your eyes and the eyes of the bronze digger on the Anzac Memorial in Federation Park, vigilant in the eternal dark. And you alone can trace the fine, faint whistle and metallic gallop of the still far-away first Western mail train from the hub of Dubbo on its ritual round of Narromine to Trangie, Nevertire and Yingin, Mullangadri, Girralambone, Coolabah and Birrock, slowing down to go to Buggerai, then Burke and back. Listen, it is the ghost gums, mourning the dying fall of a lost breeze in the drought and out paddocks all around. The sleep of silent laughter in the Kookaburra bush. It is night, turning in its sleepy streets, night lost in the wide emptiness of Cook Drive and Centennial Parade, where one set of traffic lights in the slow downtown acts as referee. Listen. It is night in the town's one weatherboard Presbyterian church, squat and cubic like an overgrown letterbox. Night in Ben Peters' pub like an empty glass. In Trim Rowland's barbershop like a bald head. In Doc Bradshaw's surgery like a black stump. In Jono Johnson's general store like a rat sack custard. It is tonight in Macquarie Street, drifting up the asphalt like a barge, in Gungan Street, goose-stepping in bare feet along the troughs of pale sand. Look, it is night, celebrating its reign over the talismanic skulls of dead sheep on the banks of the Mulga lagoon. Over rust and woodpile in the dark yards, over time and tedium, good and bad, night, glorious in obscure pomp and circumstantial emptiness, but still, time passes. Listen, life passes. Come closer now. Come with us to the back blocks, up the concrete jigsaw puzzle strips of driveway, fighting back the buffalo grass, past the Holdens with furry stuffed dice unrolling in their windscreens and blunt threats on their bumper bars. Be careful of the bindi eyes. Slide behind the dehydrangeas and camellias, browned and withered in the flower, and come quietly onto the patterned split and warp of wide verandas where you alone can see the blind Venetians behind bare glass. The blank backs of Christmas cards slotted in rows and the black and white photos curling on the sill. Come to the fly screens, fraying along the slits of kitchen knives and cat's claws, through the scuffed and smudged front doors with bells for belly buttons and curtained portholes, and into the dead, still dead quiet of the living rooms that only you can see. And what you see are the pastel-coloured walls, flecked with constellations of swatted flies, where porcelain ducks yearn on the wing past faded Namatjira calendars. On tiny bookcases, the Reader's Digest and aging urine-coloured paperbacks collapse like dominoes, while on matching tables, still silent dregs of Coke and beer keep watch from Stolen League club coasters. In the kitchens, hidden in the plastic filigree folds of cafe curtains on the sills, the chipped mugs and ashtrays from Port Macquarie, or Ulladulla House, a treasure trove of chewed biros and pencil stubs, matchsticks, twisted ties, pens, paper clips, dead keys, and currency no longer current. The smell of fried onions, chops, and mystery bags is thick in the warm air. And over the patchwork fridges, wall clocks pick at the seconds in the silence, measuring out the long watch of a world bound for the pandemonium of morning.